A really strong start to the season, Marlon Yard. 3 tries. Caught the eye against Wasps last weekend. Smith, Marchant, Brown. Yard was an option, but Brown trucks it up. Danny Kerr puts his shoulders to the wheel. Smith, and again Clifford. Yard tried to run around Ford, and he was stopped in his tracks by Tamua. Ford then tried to pick his pocket, but it's still Lambert and Harlequins. Collier doing what he can to get on the shoulder of the fly half. Instead it was Marchant and Roberts, and this is Clifford, but oh goodness me, if that was forward, it was forward by millimetres.
You could just see the direction which Jamie Roberts' hands go. They do so well to get the ball out, and it is forward, isn't it? Momentum or not. The approach play, the hard work was done to get to the outside area, wasn't it?
You saw there George Ford wanting to bite in, because he knows that if he gives Jamie Roberts a run-up, Jamie Roberts is going to carry him for a number of yards. So he has to commit physically and accelerate towards him. But taken out by that pass, and as soon as he's taken out by the pass, it creates the 2-on-1 on the outside. Fortunately for him, Roberts throws it forward.
Harlequins have 1 or 2 things to think about in the scrum in the first half.
Okay,
Pressure
very clear now,
Will
guys.
Collier
We're back
and
on the
Rob
warning from the
Buchanan
first
and Mark
half.
Lambert.
You need to give me a better shape, and you need to get your feet closer, or we're not just going to collapse, okay? Guys, no, you must not hinge for me. You need your feet closer. No. Look, if you think that will help, Tom, yeah, I can't have you pre-engaged. Okay, thank you. You can keep your shape.
Carl Sinclair remains an option for Quins on the bench, and Lewis Boyce, youngster, 21-year-old, set for what would be his Premiership debut, but not an awful lot of experience there. The loose head replacement, there's the tight head replacement, swallowing the disappointment of being dropped from that England training squad. And that's a better scrum from Harlequins. Leicester splintering, and Luamanu finds Rob Shaw, and it's Kerr, and this is Alofa steps back inside, still stepping back inside, still the threat.
Alan Yard free on the right. Oh dear, that's a yellow.
It's a definite yellow.
He's not giving it.
Oh, but Kerr takes it quickly, and Kerr scores.
It's a great try. Ben Young scored the same try against Gloucester last week, but do you know what? Maybe the speed of the try, this is where it starts. So Matt Leomana stepping up in the tackle, and then Alofa just putting on the afterburners, footwork as well as power, getting them far over the gain line. And I'm sorry, but Ian Tempest has got this so wrong. Danny Kerr with a quick tap. And I don't know what you think about this, Ben, but because the try was scored so quickly after the infringement, it's almost taken away in Tempest.
I didn't think he was even looking at giving a yellow, though. It wasn't as though he was, starting to consider it. He almost said, yeah, play on. But I totally agree. Should have been a yellow.
Might have had 2 for knock-ons, because Dan Cole in the first half as well, but both Leicester's props stay on the pitch, but they can't stop Harlequins taking the lead.
Genge can't do a lot about it, but he cannot catch the ball. And I know it's coming towards him. He can completely avoid it, sidestep it. Cast iron yellow for me.
Ford again dropping it down on the 22. Again, it's Yard. He's the first receiver. Shoved back by Johnny May.
He's taking him back in.
An awful lot of Johnny May as an attacking threat. Mostly come through Vianu and Malouf on the right wing.
Use it!
Kerr, Yard leads the chase. Vianu's underneath it. Gets it back to May. Kerr, rather youngs to Ford. And this is Hamilton, who came on in the first half as the head injury replacement for Dominic Ryan. Tamua, Malouf. Still Malouf's just. Neatly away by Harry Wells. Under a little bit of pressure, and then
Rob
Wells
Shaw's knocked out, is he?
Doing the clearing work. Yep, Rob Shaw's flat on his back at the moment. Lost by Vianu. Smith quickly to Yard. He's got Matt Luamanu, and if he can escape the clutches, he might score here. Callum Afoni doing what he can. Luamanu, all the power and the determination, and Quins have 2 in a couple of minutes.
And a brilliant finish from Luamanu. Didn't have the natural pace to take him away from anyone, but he was just so composed and measured. He watched Calamafoni came and he rode the challenge. Leicester have been trying to go wide. The highs come up from Bayanu. May does well to get back and catch yard, but just watch this. Sees him coming, puts the fend out and just rides that challenge over the line. Really good finish.
But the most pleased coach out of all of this will be Nick Easter, because it was a try created from pressure in defence. Really good line speed. Bayanu had been such a threat. They got up and Imanu does so well. Leomanu the pace and the power to finish in that corner.
Well, I know that John Kingston was really excited about Ronaldo Bothma, the Namibian, arriving at the club this season, but he's broken his arm on a couple of occasions before he can make his debut. So Luamanu having an extended shift at number 8, and my goodness, he's playing well. He's carrying the form from last season into the start of this one. Meantime, there's still some concern for poor old Chris Robshaw, who's down on the 10-metre line.
And testing his arm strength, so whether it is a head knock or whether it's something to do with his neck or shoulders.
While we're doing England injury updates, by the way, we were hearing from Martin that Billy Vunipola left the pitch before half-time at Allianz Park, and it's a leg injury we are hearing. We don't know how serious his was, but Chris Robshaw seems to be saying that he's okay, but he clearly needs to come on for at least a check. Maybe be surprised if we see him again in this match.
It doesn't look to be the case, but they brought on Ben Glynn, who is conventionally a second row. So what that will do is bolster their line-out attack. But what you lose from Chris Robshaw is just such good work rate. 20-plus tackler every single week, a big leader. Another big shift for him today.
2 quick-fire Harlequins tries changed the complexion of this contest. Leicester having to come back from distance now. 2 minutes between the 2 tries, and Joe Marchant leading the search for a third. Brown, Smith, Roberts. Skipped beyond what would have been a challenge from Mike Williams, but never laid a hand on him. Buchanan. Harlequins at the moment getting beyond the gain line, breaking tackles, making ground.
Quins are going from coast to coast, and what that's doing is stretching the pitch, and it's making those one-on-one collisions. You see how far they've got over the gain line. Couple of slow rucks. Mike Brown will use the boot. Really good exit.
George Ford. Teresa Veyanu. Reaches the end of its journey in the in-goal area.
Just saying of Quins, trying to make the pitch as big as possible.
Well, there's Squirty Joe.
Smuggling up now to Lewis, boys.
He's actually not playing today, not because of H2O misdemeanors, but because he's got sore ribs. I don't know whether the sore ribs came from the...
He's made a water ball.
Yeah.
Well, after Watergate.
Running on with all the bottles.
Old Squirty of Squirtshire, as he probably won't become known. Going to get an update from the rep fairly shortly. We're hearing that Bath are on the comeback trail, but confirm what's happening at Allianz Park and the rep shortly. Tamua, Veyanu, Genge. Went beyond Roberts and he wasn't held, and just look at the ground that Genge has made.
Yeah, has been seen there. You see how on that last phase Leicester trying to get round the outside.
Time off. 10 down.
All the time of Harlequins. Harlequins trying to provide that really strong line speed in midfield and catch Leicester. Tamua hovering in the back, in behind that first line of ball carriers, ready to try and get the ball out to the likes of Ellis Genge's powerful carrying, but he's got to hold on to the ball a little bit better.
In the middle of all that, Marcus Smith hurt himself. Let's update the other scores, and that Samisa Rokodunguni has scored his 4th try of the season, and Newcastle, who were comfortably ahead, having scored the first 3. Now Leicester just a point in it. 3 o'clock kickoffs, all of these, and Saracens still leading in North London. Liam Williams try, I guess, at the moment, making the headline from that match. Also, Billy Vunapola's leg injury as well. We're not sure how serious that is, but it's a concern. And
they're making the change for Marcus Smith. That's a huge blow for Quins, because he's really been pulling the strings.
This is the injury. He looks potentially muscular, pulls up straight away, and you won't want to take a risk, especially if Katrakilis have an extended layoff.
Yeah, Dimitri Katrakilis, just to remind you, recovering from breaking a tiny bone in his throat. I've never heard of an injury like it against Gloucester. He actually stopped breathing for a second or two. So we won't see Katrakilis for at least a month or so. And Ellis Genge is...
Both of them.
Yellow card in, and also Will Collier. And Ian Tempest's patience has run out.
That is brilliant.
But you know what? I really like this referee. We spend so long talking about the quality on the pitch, the amount of star international backs. But if they're never going to get the ball in their hands, we're not going to see a good game.
Replacements, we've got to do better. And what don't worry, stay up, subs.
Replacements are
that's fine, we'll wait.
Carl Sinclair and Greg Bateman. And
Need to see improvement, please, guys.
Mike Williams is being sacrificed from a Leicester perspective. Who have Quins?
Ben Glynn.
There you go.
Who just came on.
Set!
Half an hour to go. Quins with 2 tries in 2 minutes at the start of this second half with the lead.
Carl Sinclair would be immediate impact, you'd expect. Such a power scrummager, and when he's fresh, he's not been distracted by running around. Needs to keep a little bit of a lid on those emotions. Pretty sure he'll be pretty emotional this week after that man there left him out of the squad.
Really interesting times for Carl Sinclair, these, and both of you will understand this, but dealing with not just the physical pressures, new physical pressures, but the mental pressures now that come with having not just played for England, but having played for the Lions. He's in a different stratosphere this season.
Absolutely, the spotlight's on him. Brilliant scrum. We know what he's about. He's a powerful guy. He's combustible. But when he's positive and he directs it in the right manner, you wouldn't want any other tight end in your team.
Merrick snaffling the ball. Both packs shorn of props. Tom Young's told to back off. Here's Tim Sweel. First time he's been involved this season, and George Ford wasn't far away. Now Veanu has got a little bit of grass in front of him. If he could get beyond that first line of defence, which he couldn't quite.
Sinclair was a mile off there, but he gets his man. Referee thinks it's okay. Thinks he's on his bike as the ball was lifted.
Ford. Johnny May's on his bike. Oh, and Yard was aware of it, and he got lucky. Gathered in the bounce.
There's an added intensity to the kick chase at the moment, isn't there? Both sides don't want any loose ball.
Just what's up?
Sweel. He's almost tiptoed his way through. Danny Kerr was up in support. You heard him. Here's a Loffer.
Come on. Release.
Sweel again. And Flatten asking too much of Sinclair.
Advantage.
Ben Young's coaxing tired legs to drive him up towards halfway, and he's done brilliantly, and he's got Malouf in support. Veanu, just a sense that there's that much more space on the pitch all of a sudden with 2 hefty props missing.
There's a bit of space around this side now if Leicester can be quick. A lot of Harlequins players waiting on that blind side.
Tamua, it's opening up, and May will have it. They'll have a charge for the line. It's a sprint, Olympic 100 metres, and there was only ever going to be one winner. May against Yard, emphatically the gold medalist, Johnny May, and he scores again for Leicester.
Danny Kerr there makes the error. Really gambles, flies out of the line, and You cannot do that with Matt Tamua. He's such a good reader and late passer of the ball. He spots him coming, lets him go and throws it behind his back. Good break from Ben Youngs. Lovely little dummy, little bit loose on the offload there, but they recover well. Veanu in support, and then they spread the ball back the other way. And Harlequins slow to wrap round. Look at all those bodies on the far side. And there's Danny Kerr going. May accelerates, and Yard just on that little step just decides he's not going to get there.
It's on me, George, thanks.
Johnny May now has 4 Leicester tries. 2 on his debut against Bath, and he's got another one here at the Stoop. Leicester made a change, by the way. The skipper Tom Youngs has given way to Harry Thacker. Extra 2 points off the boot of George Ford, and we're back to within 3.
Some of that replacement there of Harry Thacker coming on, a little bit more attacking player, will carry well, and maybe they'd be looking to bring him on at 60 minutes, but with the extra body off the field, there's maybe a little bit more space for him to work his magic, so bring him on earlier and give him that opportunity.
About the deals that both Leicester and Gloucester did. Ed Slater settled in really well at Kingston. We watched him last night, Hugo, and likewise Johnny May at Welford Road. It's worked out well for both.
Absolutely, and that's the first running Johnny May's had out of the 4 tries he scored. Tell you what, made by Tamua, so much time on the ball, talking about the playmaker balance, holds on to it, waits for someone to bite. Lovely pass. Such a top player, Matt Tamua, gives you so much defensively, very physical, but ball player wise, outstanding.
A couple of years now since he was playing across the road in the World Cup final for Australia. Came off the bench that evening against the All Blacks. Another Australian, Horwell, lays it down to Kerr and Sweel and Yard. Lost that. Well, it was emphatically Harlequins' first 10 minutes at the start of this second half, but since a little sea change here, since the yellows, Leicester have looked a little bit more likely.
Yeah, just a bit of confusion with this play here. We can see they're trying to get Marlon Yard into it, and Matt Leomani maybe didn't quite get the call, but it's those little details in a game which is so tight, which could end up costing you.
He's meant to run that shield line, isn't he, Leomani? He's there to attract those defenders that Marlon Yard can then pick off as they step in.
Bath have taken the lead, having been a long way adrift early on, conceding those 3 early tries to the Falcons. Charlie Ewells has put them ahead for the first time.
Stay close, stay close.
And Owen Farrell has stretched Sarries 3 further clear of Sale. Both of those 3 o'clock kickoffs as we were here in southwest London. Ford. This is John Barrow, who's got rid of the head guard that he was wearing at the start of this match. Tamua, Thacker, here he goes. Little V12 dumper truck that always offers such a threat. Calamafoni, Hamilton.
Big hit in midfield.
Buchanan's back on his feet. A little bit crestfallen.
He's being
And
run
here's
at now.
Tamua. And this is Malouf. And Leicester enjoying their best spell of the match. Most phases that they've enjoyed ball in hand as well, and well, that looked like it went forward off Greg Bateman's pass. Ball's being checked by Jeff Warren, the TMO. Here's Matt Smith. The penalty's coming for Leicester, so this the advantage. Ford, and that's a break from Bateman, and he's charging through, and Bateman will score. It's not just about the will-o'-the-wisps. Occasionally it's about the big boulders, and there are a few bigger than Bateman. And now Leicester have 2 tries in 2 minutes, and now they have the lead again. What a match this is.
Well, penalty advantage coming. Great ball from Ford across the face of Calamafoni, and it must be frustrating sitting on the bench while everyone raves about what a good ball carrier Ellis Genge is when you can carry yourself. And Bateman, really good awareness, transfer of the ball from the left to the right hand to allow himself to get that fend into Brown's neck. Really, really good finish.